morning, yogis. Hello, yogis. As you join, welcome. Sunday easygoing yoga. Got about a minute. I encourage you to have blocks, a blanket to sit up on, and also, if you could, check in, say hello to me. I'm up in Chatham at my teacher's farm and school for the weekend, actually for the next couple of weekends, teaching, learning, etc., from here, which has been fabulous. So, if you can, say hello. There are going to be lots of sounds around. There's children running around, and guinea fowl, and chickens, and people. So there'll be a few distractions, I'm sure, today, but we can handle that. This practice of yoga really helping us drop in. Oops, let's see, what did I just edit? I'm going to say hello. There we go. Can you hear the guinea fowl? So if you're out there, just give me a hello or a like or a something so that I know you can hear me. Even if you're not attending, just a little assistance because I'm in a new space and I just want to make sure everything works. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hello. My teacher Raghu just walked in. Thank you. Bye. Gunas. He's going to teach the gunas. Yes. The 3 gunas. Thank you, Raghu. All right. Perfect. So as we get going, I'm going to move to the back of my mat. Yeah. So nice. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. I just gave my teacher's daughter a lesson in how to drive a stick shift car. What fun. She'd never driven a stick shift before. And as some of you know, I have a little fun summer 6-speed convertible. So she really enjoyed it. She did first, second, third gear. And as soon as we pulled up alongside her father, of course it stalled. But she did great. Hi Cheryl, thank you for checking in. So this practice of yoga, right? For me, this journey to yoga has been truly a journey about practicing kindness to myself, how I speak to myself, what I put in myself, my body, the food, also media, movies, music, what I feed into my body. So over the years, little bits, little pieces, little bits at a time, I've definitely evolved and changed. I'm so grateful for it. Observing that what I put into me, whether through all the senses, so sounds, taste, visual, the practice, right? All of that affects me. It affects how I walk through my day, how I speak, how I act, how I respond, how I treat myself. This beautiful practice has endlessly allowed me to find much more self-respect, self-care, self-love. And then my desire to bring that message clearly as much as possible to you all. Right? So important. And what's this practice of yoga for you, right? Can you take a pause here as we just begin, right? Pause before we begin and just drop into that. What is this time, this hour together on Sundays? What is it for you? Yes, there's that physical practice, right? Which sometimes can put a little stress on the body and mind purposefully to watch how we respond, how we react. train ourselves to be patient, to also practice kindness, also to be calm when we're struggling. And this deeper part of the practice, right? How we respond just through conversation, how we respond to the world, how we want to walk through the world, how we want to live with joy, with love, with enthusiasm. My teacher talked this morning at 5:30 a.m. about having enthusiasm for your life, having enthusiasm for your spiritual practice. And each day, regardless, right? Maybe something's going on, or you have a tummy ache or a little bit of a headache, but still being able to find that acceptance, but still that enthusiasm, right? That doesn't mean we don't rest, right, with that headache, but it also means that we just don't let ourselves collapse into that negativity and give up, right? This beautiful life that we've been given, how do we live? How do we walk through it? And spread that enthusiasm, spread that love, spread that joy. Take a nice inhale. Exhale out. Two more like that. Inhale, just fill up. Listen to your voice as you exhale out. One more. Nice cleansing breath. Exhale. And bring these palms together, Anjali Mudra. Sit a little bit taller. Feel the palms as they draw together, that spine lengthening, the shoulders melting away from the ears. Find your next inhale and come together for Om. Just bow that forehead, that mind down into the fingertips, that heart, moving more with the heart, letting that mind settle and quiet. Feeling maybe that leftover element of the Om, that universal vibrational sound. And let it feed your heart, right? That vibration, that goodness. Let it be a little bit more that voice of how you want to speak to yourself. And from here, begin to lift your gaze, sweep these arms up to the sky, reaching nice and long on an inhale. And then bring these palms down to your heart space again on that exhale. Two more like that. Inhale, we sweep up, open up, belly draws in, arms reach along. Exhale down into that heart space. One more. Inhale, sweep nice and long. Beautiful. Exhale down into that heart space, palms Anjali Mudra. Beautiful. Lift your gaze out in front, long spine. We're going to take this right hand to that left knee, and the left hand's going to come behind. Let's lift up onto the fingertips and get that nice extra length into the spine, cupping that knee with the opposite hand. Begin to twist. Belly button lifts in and up, and the ribs begin to rotate. The chest begins to open, and then the shoulders. Gaze can go over that left shoulder. Take a breath here. Inhale. Stay with the nose breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And again, one more breath. Inhale, we grow long. And exhale, we take that twist. Love it. Come back through slow to center. Cup the hands to the knees. Take an inhale into the seated cow. Chest lift, shoulders melt away. And then exhale, round back. Tuck the chin, tuck the belly into that cat, seated cat. Pause there, please, for 3 breaths. Feel the breath into the back of the body. Exhale, belly draws in. We sit back a little bit more. Tuck the chin. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Belly draws in, chin tucks. Exhale. Beautiful. Come back up. Nice long spine, shoulders stack over the hips. Melt the shoulders away from the ears. And then from here, that left hand is going to come across the body, finding that right knee. And this right hand, fingertips are reaching you nice and long as we take an inhale. And then exhale, just begin to move through that center channel of light, that center channel through your body. Moving into the twist as we twist to the right. Feel the belly lifting, the ribs, then the chest, then the shoulders. Gaze over that right shoulder. 2 more breaths. Find your inhale. Take that exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Come back through. Hands cup the knees. We're going to sit back into that cat as you exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Lift the chest, moving into that cow. Heart forward. Pause there. Shoulders now melt down the back of the body. The tail kind of reaching behind us and sit bones dropping down into the earth. Feel the heart open. Take a breath. And again, inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, shoulders stack back over the hips, gaze out in front. And we're going to bring these feet into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. And I encourage you, if you have a blanket or a block and you want to sit up onto it, and let the feet today come a little bit wider. So just open it up, especially early in your practice. And you can start even by cupping the hands onto the knees and maybe even rocking a little bit to get that spread of this foundation, the sit bones. And then sit tall, shoulders melt down the back of the body. There's that natural curve into the lumbar spine. So we're not collapsing into the back, but there is this sweet curve of the spine. So just find that neutral for you. And take another breath. The exhale, I want you to begin to lift the chest a little bit. So notice as you exhale, belly draws in, but the heart opens. Take an inhale, fill up the belly. And again, that exhale, feel the chest lifting a little bit and belly drawing in. One more. So there's this rooting with the inhale and a little bit of that lifting of the heart with the exhale. Take another breath, inhale. Begin to hinge at the hips and fold forward. Now let's not pull anywhere. Just slide these hands to the ankles, right? And there's this nice line from the shoulders, neutral spine down to the hips. Take another breath, inhale. And then exhale, just begin to let yourself melt here. Stay a little bit longer at first. And then find another breath. And then maybe with this exhale, you just begin to let the head very slowly release. Shoulders can soften. Maybe those elbows are opening up the knees a little bit, just dropping into this inner knees and calves. And just breathe. Notice where this goes in your body. And again, I'm just letting gravity take me. My hands are soft. There's a connection of the core lifting me and melting me. And just breathing up and down that spine. Beautiful. Feel the breath as it moves through your body. Try and open up the breath. And if you can, let it be all through the nose, in and out through the nose. Good. One more breath here. And then from here, we're going to draw the navel in and we're going to lengthen the spine. We're still at that sort of 45-degree angle, sit bones behind you, but feel the core muscles lifting in and up. Feel the back muscles engaging and shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath, inhale. Beautiful. And then with the exhale, just begin to bring the shoulders over the hips. Perfect. From here, we're going to move tabletop, hands and knees. So as we travel, just bring the knees underneath the hips, hands spread and underneath the shoulders. And just take a pause here and just explore. So a little bit of movement. We started with those twists, getting that length into the spine and the lower back. And from here, just a little bit more of some curiosity as you maybe make some figure eights with the head and the tail. Maybe shifting the hips to the right and then the left. Whatever it is, let's just move around here for a few moments. Yeah, breathing in. Hi, Nancy from Pennsylvania. That's so cool. Breathing out. Good. Yeah, and then we're going to come back to a nice neutral tabletop position, gaze slightly out in front. We're going to take that right leg behind us, toes are curled under, and we're going to sit into that right heel. Nice big stretch up the back of the leg, but try not to round and dip into that lower back. Keep some lift of that pelvic floor. And then from here, you're going to begin to lift that right leg up, flex through the right foot. I'm going to curl my left toes under. I just like that. And then take this left arm out in front. Breathe here. Find that breath and focus. Get that extra length from that right heel to the fingertips. Stay calm where you can. One more breath. And then slow. Bring both the hand and the knee down together. Together. There it is. Curl both toes under. Lift to your cow. Sending that heart forward. And then from here, release the toes and exhale into that cat. Tuck the chin and tail. Again, inhale into that cow. Heart lifts, tail lifts, toes turn under. Release the toes, hollow out into that cat. Beautiful. Neutral spine, neutral spine. And then from here, we're going to take that left leg back. So curl the toes under. As you reach back, take a nice inhale and sit back into that left heel. There's that nice stretch. And again, we're not collapsing into the lower back, but belly button's drawing in and up. Neck is long. And then focus here. Gaze slightly out in front. As you begin to lift that leg, maybe that right arm goes out too, reaching from fingertip to heel and heel to fingertip. Extra length. Lengthen the neck and breathe. If you fall out of it, can you not get all collapsed and distracted? Can you just revisit it? Take another breath. Find that inhale. And then slow, hand and knee come down together and they touch the earth together. Toes curl under, lift to that cow. Hollow out, exhale into that cat. Tuck the chin, get into the back of the body. One more like that. Inhale that cow, heart forward, tail lifts. Exhale, hollow out, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Beautiful. From here, take the gaze out in front. Hands a little bit more out in front of you, or bring them onto your blocks. Curl the toes under and lift to a downward facing dog. And bring these feet a little bit wider this morning. So as you bring them wider, there's a little bit more space for the glutes, the lower back, and just allow yourself, just like we did in tabletop, that first tabletop, to just explore it. Let the head roll around. Let one knee bend, and then the other. You might even kind of roll through, find a little plank here, and then go back to your downward dog. Nice. And then bring the feet a little bit closer together. Take a nice inhale. Let's come through to that plank. And with the exhale, bring the knees down. From here, we're going to shift forward a little bit more, so there's a nice angle from the shoulders to the hips to the knees. And then from here, we're going to release the toes, and we're going to just bend for 3 little push-ups. So no more than 90 degrees, or maybe just an inch or 2, and back up. Beautiful. Lower. And back up. One more. Lower. Heart is open, collarbones are spreading, and back up. Good. Now from here, we're going to slide back to a child's pose. Knees come wide, toes together, and sit back into it. And just let yourself kind of rock a little bit. Hands can drop, kind of push you back into the sit bones. And if for any reason your knees bother you, just slide a blanket behind the knees or a bolster to just get a little bit more space there. Up to you. Self-care, please, especially in these times when the teachers are not all over you looking and helping. You have to practice self-care. And I'm presuming that the microphone is taking all the guinea fowl, which are outside my window. So I hope you can hear me, and you can smile at it if you can hear all the guinea fowl. One more breath here. Beautiful. Now come back up towards tabletop. Hands stay a little bit out in front. Knees come back underneath you. And lift to that downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here, letting the shoulders melt away from the ears. getting the index finger and thumb dropping down into the earth so there's connection with those fingers. And then let the shoulders roll out, a little external rotation, and then the shoulders blades down the back of the body. Take your breath. And again. Now from here, if your feet are close together, bring them a little bit wider than hip distance and begin to walk the hands back. And you can bring those blocks with you if you have them. I don't have them, so I have some beautiful books here. When you arrive, we're just going to take a half lift. Slide the hands up, shins, knees, thighs, lengthen, pause there. Notice how it feels, right? So long spine, shoulders melting away from the ears, that tail behind, that crown of head out in front. Find that nice inhale filling you up, and then exhale, melt into this forward fold. Rock slightly side to side, shifting the weight between the feet. You might even move the toes, noticing if they're kind of locked and forced. See if you can relax them. Beautiful, take another breath. And from here again, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, hands, shins, thighs, lengthen. And then melt back and find that downward facing dog again. This time, if it's okay, just see if you can stay a little tighter with the dog, get a little bit more of a stretch up the back of the legs now. But remember, our feet are a little bit wider, so there's a little more space to breathe, get space in the lower back. One more breath. I know it's a lot of downward dogs. And then from here, slow gazes out in front. We're going to make our way to the front of the mat. So lots of little steps or maybe hopping. Bring your blocks with you if you have them. Slide into that half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then again, melt into this Uttanasana. Soften the knees, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. And we're going to roll up, breathing as we do for 5, 4, tuck the chin, head is heavy, 3, 2, at the top, there's that 1, gaze out in front, shoulders roll down the way from the ears, and then just stand, finding that Tadasana, so feet underneath you, and just let that heart open. Yes, just feel this nice natural curves of your body, but also this length through the whole body. Take another breath here. Perfect. From here, hands come to your heart space. We're going to sit and push the palms together, get a little taller, and we're going to sit into our chair pose. So you might bring the toes together, heels apart, or you might just keep those ankles under the knees and the knees in line with the hips. Just sit, doesn't need to be low. Sit bones reach behind a little bit, belly tucks in, the weight shifts to the heels. Take your breath here. And then take these arms long. Find another breath. And then we're going to begin to fold forward as we dive forward. Hands melt to the blocks of the earth, and as they touch, extend the legs long. Uttanasana. And from here, we're going to step that right foot back. So hands again, blocks, books, cans of soup, fingertips, crown of head, heel of foot. Now, engage that back leg. So that back leg has a little bit more energy than maybe you've had before. Lift the pelvic floor so we're not collapsing here. And try to get a little bit more space into this front hip crease. Take a breath. Beautiful. Bring this right knee down. Gaze out in front. Slide the hands to the left knee. Long spine to come up. Beautiful. Shoulders over the hips. Toes curled under or not. Up to you. Just notice this front knee. Can you have it over that front ankle? And then take that right arm up to the sky. Take a nice inhale, reach long. Stay with it on that exhale. And take this left arm up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Now take this left hand onto that right wrist. Reach it a little bit longer. And then take a nice little side stretch here over to the left. But keep lifting the belly in and up. Keep breathing into that right hip, that right rib cage. Take another breath. And then from here, arms are going to come back up, so that's a long spine. And take that right hand to the outside of the left knee. And this left hand, we're going to bring it back and then sweep it, palm facing out into the lower back. Find that inhale. And then begin to take a twist as you exhale. I know it's a lot. Legs are working here. Heart opens. Take another breath. One more. Just focus. Notice the mind wants to get pretty active as the legs get tired. And then we release. Hands come down. Find the blocks. Gaze out in front. Lift the right knee. And from here, step forward. One big step or lots of little steps. Take that half lift to lengthen, melt Uttanasana. And then from here, we're going to step that left foot back. So we're in this low lunge. And just get that energy into this left leg. Almost taking that sort of front thigh, engaging it, and taking that nice femur bone, almost like you're trying to pull it out the back, right? A little exaggeration. Crown of head, heel of foot. Take another breath. And then slow and controlled, left knee comes down. You can always slide a blanket underneath that left knee. Take some nice length into the spine as the heart opens. And then hands slide. Slide them to that right knee. Lift the chest up. Arrive, right? Feel that space. Take another breath. Gaze is focused. Lift the left arm. Breathing in, staying long as you breathe out. Lift the right arm in and out. Beautiful. From here, right hand finds that left wrist. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, take this over a little bit to the right. Notice this whole left edge of the body opening. Nice control and that kind of challenge of the balance here. Take another breath. Inhale, come back, neutral spine. Left hand's going to cross to the outside of that right knee. Right hand, we begin to twist, belly draws in. Right hand begins to lift behind and then slip it into that lower back. Find an inhale when it comes. And then exhale into that twist. 2 breaths. 1 breath. And then slow, controlled, hands come back down to the earth. Should feel good to arrive. And then from here, we're going to take and lift this left knee, but we're going to walk the hands around to the left and come into this wide standing pose. Shift the feet a little bit. Walk the hands out in front with or without the blocks. So the blocks just help us get a little bit more space, lower back and hips. Take a nice inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, walk the hands back and come into this nice forward fold. You can always bend the knees, one knee and the other, but stay connected. Try not to run away from the pose, but notice what's happening in the pose. Find your breath and let go into it. Not getting so distracted by all the sensations. And just taking this stretch. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 1. And then slowly from here, we're going to take and find some length into the spine again. And we're going to slowly bring the hands to the hip creases, long spine. Remember we found it earlier? Lift the pelvic floor and then begin to bring yourself up slow, controlled. Let the blood flow back into the body. Really nice. And then from here, we're going to take these back toes for me. It is my left for you. I don't know, depends how you're working with this. So you can do the left or you can follow me visually. And we're coming into this warrior two. So arms out to the T, gaze out over those front fingertips. Notice that middle finger. See if you can follow the line of that middle finger and then look beyond. And then just take and turn your head to the backhand, making sure that you know a little bit where it is so it's not kind of flopping around or out of that alignment. Find it for you and get that back fingertips reaching behind you. Gaze goes back out in front. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take a nice inhale. Extend this front leg long. So we're in this nice triangle leg. Feel that nice energy. Long spine. Breathing. Inhale, take these arms up to the sky. And exhale back to that warrior two. Two more like that. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, melting. And again, inhale, length through the waist. Exhale, coming back. Beautiful. Backhand. Let's bring it into the lower back. Palm facing out. Gaze out over those front fingertips. Turn the palm up. And slowly, please, slowly, just follow those fingertips as you reverse this warrior. Gaze might go up to the sky or over that back shoulder, up to you. Two more breaths. Just feel this beautiful energy through the front of the body. One more breath. And then slowly we unravel, coming back to that warrior two. We're going to take this front leg again, and we're going to lengthen it. Nice energy in the feet. Reach forward. Remember that reach with the fingertips, but that gaze over that middle finger. And then just begin to slide into your triangle pose. Yeah, front leg is long. And try not to reach forward, kind of hunching into this. If that is happening, come a little bit higher. But try not to lose the energy of the arm, especially this back arm, this top arm. Gaze might go up or gaze might be down. Breathing, two more breaths. Can you stay calm? One more breath. And then slowly we bend that front knee, we revisit that warrior two. You're thinking, oh my goodness, this is a strong practice today. Arms come to the sky. We're going to turn those back toes in or the front toes, depending on where you're looking. And then we're going to take and come to the other side. Open the arms out to that T, finding this beautiful warrior two. Right knee over that right ankle, toes and knees facing, tracking forward, right? And then this front arm, gaze over the middle fingertip, and then look beyond. And then just take a soft, slow gaze over that back arm. Mine's a little bit more forward, so I'm gonna open it back up. Obviously, if you have something going on in your shoulder and you need to modify, then do. Find that energy to energy, fingertip to fingertip, and gaze back over. Here we go. We're gonna inhale, straighten, reach long, and exhale, flow softly back into that warrior two. Two more like that. Inhale, front leg lengthens. And exhale, warrior two. You're gonna feel this through the legs, through the arms. Inhale, nice and long. Exhale, warrior two. Now that back hand is gonna just slip into your lower back, palm facing out. I love this, it actually opens up the shoulder and the chest. Front palm turns up, gaze to the fingertips, and then slow, begin to take this into that reverse warrior. Gaze to the sky or over that back shoulder, whatever it is for you. Stay strong in the legs, two more breaths. One more breath. Beautiful, and then as we unravel, we're gonna straighten that front leg again. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale, move into that triangle. So again, we don't need to go so deep and then begin to round through it. We want to stay maybe even a little bit higher so you can get this nice length into the spine and the front of the body. Shoulders stacked over each other. Maybe the gaze is up or maybe it's down. Staying 2 more breaths. See if you can relax and still feel that engagement, that balance, those legs working. 1 more breath. And then we come back, warrior 2. Love it. Now, arms reach to the sky. That front toe, they're gonna turn in so feet are parallel again. And then from here, option. You can take these hands, slide them into your lower back, palms out, or interlace the hands. Wherever you are, just roll the shoulders a couple of times. So as you do that, there's a little bit of a back bend, heart opening, belly lifting in and up. Find a nice inhale together. And then begin to lengthen the spine as you hinge at the hips and fold forward. Pause. There's that parallel spine we found. Belly lifting in. Take another breath. And then slowly melt into this. So hands can stay interlaced behind you or in the lower back. Or you might bring them down to the earth. Really up to you. Just let your head go and just take your breath here. Taking some nice breath just to relax the back of the body. Let the mind go. Practice that self-care. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then from here, nice and controlled, we're going to walk back and find a low lunge at the front of the mat. So we roll to the ball of that back foot. See, this is where we started before we came into all of that sequence. And then from here, we're going to plant the hands, block or mat, and we're going to take this back to a downward facing dog. Now you can always slide into a child's pose right here, or puppy dog pose. Or you can stay in this dog. And if you'd like to add on, you can come through to a plank. Knees can always come down, or you might lower chaturanga to cobra, bhujangasana, or upward facing dog, or vamukha, svanasana. So make it about you. I'm going to take my knees down and lower chest and chin, and lift. And you might meet back in that downward dog. You might slide into a child's pose. We're all going eventually to the child's pose. So if you want to take a few breaths in that dog and just explore that shape, building strength, building length, or in that child, again, building length, opening up the lower back. Just visit the breath. Let that be a point of focus, a point of grounding us back into the present moment. Back into that enthusiasm, even as we struggle still. Can we find some enthusiasm to take on these challenges? If you're in the dog, knees come down and we're all gonna melt into that child's pose. Yes, we are. Should feel fabulous. Lower back, maybe we rock a little bit if that feels yummy to you. Two more breaths here in that child. One more breath. Nice. And then from here, we're going to come up onto the fingertips. And we're going to walk the hands over to the right. From here, that left hand is going to reach a little bit longer. And this right hand, just bring it down alongside your knee. I'm just going to show you from the other side. So just reaching, it gives you a little bit more space for that stretch into the left edge of your body. Yeah, breathing into the shoulder. As that left arm reaches, let that left sit bone sit back a little bit more. One more breath. And then taking this right arm next to the left, roll onto the fingertips, walk back to center. Pause there, please. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, walk over to the left. Left hand comes down by the knee, right arm reaches long, and exhale when it comes. There's that lovely big stretch. Breathing for 3, 2, finding that 1, stay for the whole breath. And then left hand meets the right, we roll to the fingertips, we're walking back through to center. And then exhale, noticing a little bit more space into this child, into the side of the body. Beautiful, come up, tabletop position, hands and knees. And from here, we're gonna take that right leg behind us. So tabletop, remember we did this earlier with the hand as well. Can you find that length from the heel of that back foot to the crown of that head? Find the breath, lift and engage that quad, right? As you push through the heel. One more breath. And then from here, we're gonna lift that right leg a little bit more, lift the chest, and begin slow to begin to kind of tuck this knee to nose, drawing the belly in and up. Yeah, it doesn't have to touch on this one, but I want you to get that engagement. And then from here, let that right foot find its way up between the hands. I'm gonna get my books that I'm using. Maybe you have books or blocks either side, so we're back into a low lunge here. Heart opens as you lift your chest. And then we're gonna exhale, extend. We often do this on Sundays, is moving Hanumanasana. Little dynamic, inhale, come forward, heart lifts. Try not to collapse anywhere. Exhale, right sit bone reaches back. One more like that, inhale, heart lifts, belly lifts in and up, and then exhale. Back with that nice long leg. Pausing here, coming into the breath. And just notice if you can here, those toes on the right foot up towards the sky. I want you to take and find a little bit of that half lift. So lengthen the spine, gaze goes out in front. And then let the shoulders move away from the ears, kind of a little bit of that cow back. And then exhale, right sit bone shifts back. Oh, hello. I just really felt that nice stretch there. So stay with that for 2. Inhale, right sit bone reaches back, chest goes forward as you exhale. Good, one more. And that exhale. Beautiful, really nice. That right foot is going to come back down onto the earth. Gaze is forward. And we're going to sweep the arms either out in front or find the top of that knee and lift the chest. Shoulders over the hips, gaze out in front. You might have to shimmy that foot back a little bit. And just pause. Notice the balance here. And if it feels okay, both arms reach up to the sky. Anjani Asana. And just pause here. Heart opens. Shoulders melt. If you like, you can come a little bit forward, but stay long into the side body and stay lifting the pelvic floor in and up. And remember that sort of quad muscle we found, or that femur head, that femur bone that I said kind of bring it to the back of the thigh. Can you do that now and notice how much more length you get? Take a breath. Lovely. And then from here, hands are going to come down either side. So frame that front foot. An option here, step back to that child, step back to a downward dog, and come through a flow, whatever it is for you. So I'm going to step back, downward dog, and you can come to a child's puppy dog, and you might slide through finding that plank. Yeah, you might lower down from there, or bring the knees down. Bend the elbows behind you, chest and chin. And just sweetly lift your chest up, Bhujangasana, or upward facing dog. And sliding back if you like, tabletop, child, downward facing dog. Either way, we're going to take 3 breaths wherever you are. And again, remember those index fingers and thumbs. Can you drop them down into the earth? Get a little external rotation at the shoulders. Lengthen to the spine if you're in this downward dog. Love it. And then slowly the knees come back to the earth, or we all come and meet into that tabletop. And we're going to take that left leg behind us. Good. Spine long, crown of head, heel of foot. Yeah, get some nice energy into this left leg. And then from here, take a nice inhale. Lift the chest a little bit. And then knee to nose, slow as you begin to take that exhale. Get that nice tuck, pause there. See if you can get a little bit more lift. And then from here, that left foot is going to find its way between the hands. So you might bring it down, find the ankle, doesn't matter, and bring it forward. And same thing, bringing those blocks or books in, just to get a little bit more space to just sort of feel this pose, this hands down, knee down, lunge, heart opens. Should feel good. Love it. Take an inhale, lift the heart, and then with the exhale, we're going to begin to extend the leg. We're moving here. So just extend, notice how it feels, and then inhale, coming back, heart opens. And with that next exhale, belly draws in, and we just sit back. One more like that. Inhale, lift the heart, open it. Belly draws in, toes to the sky, and now we're going to settle here. So keeping those blocks if you're using them. Yeah. And then just find the toes are going to begin to reach up towards the sky, not forced. There can be some softness behind that left knee. We're going to take a nice inhale. See how we're going to find that flat back or that lengthened back and spine we found earlier. Take a nice inhale. And with the exhale, send the chest a little bit more forward, shoulders away from the ears. Take another breath. Let that left sit bone roll back a little bit with the exhale. Oh, there's that stretch. 2 more breaths. Inhale. It's not forceful, it's just connected. We have this deep awareness of how we feel, how we react to it, and how we can bring our self-care into all of that information. Go ahead, take another breath. And then bringing that left foot slowly down to the earth. You might have to shimmy around a little bit. Your stance might be a little bit long. Gaze out in front. This last little bit here. You can either sweep the arms out and up or bring them to that left knee. Long spine and controlled. We come up. Heart opens. Gaze out in front. And then arms, if they're down, if it feels right, reach them up. Yeah, and just notice length here. Breathing. Good. 2. And again. Nice. And then from here, take a nice inhale. Hands are going to slowly come down. And here's that option again. Step back to a downward dog, child, puppy dog. Come through a flow if you like. Remember this easygoing yoga for everyone. Make it about you. Find what's right. Meeting in that child, meeting in that puppy dog. We're all heading to that child's pose. Two more breaths if you're in that dog. One more breath. Slow, bring the knees down. Melt into that child, so knees might come wide, toes together. And then we revisit. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And then we're gonna come back up and bring the legs out in front of us. So as we do that, we're gonna bring the legs out, but we're gonna keep the knees a little bit more bent. And find those sit bones or sit up onto a blanket. I think I'm gonna go here. My legs are a little hard to see with the dark mat that I have. Yeah, maybe that's a little better. So sit bones underneath the shoulders. Melt the shoulders down. Send the heart forward. Lift the belly. Good. Now, take another inhale. Begin to draw that belly towards the thighs. Take another inhale. Now, hands can slide down the back of the legs. Maybe the toes curl up and you find the edges of the feet. Inhale again to lengthen. And then maybe you extend the legs a little bit, right? So it doesn't have to be the full Paschimottanasana. You can keep these legs a little more bent. I'm really tight into my back today. Yeah, so find that length. Maybe the legs go a little bit longer. Good. Try not to force here, but just notice what you're feeling. Breathe into sensations that are good, right? And also those that can be a little challenging. But let's not force it. Let's not let that ego come in and take us to a place that we can cause injury or negative conversation. 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then slow. Release the hands from wherever they are. Draw the navel in to come up. Really nice. And then we're going to take these legs and we're going to open them wide. Yes. So we did this standing. Shift a little bit. I find that everyone seems to take this much wider than they need to. So I'd much rather see you have the legs a little bit closer together than having them forced really wide and then rounding into the lower back. So find it. I love to say that. With the ego at the door, shift the sit bones a little bit. Toes are up to the sky. And maybe bring the fingertips behind you and lift the chest. Maybe that's enough right here in this shape, right? Maybe then the hands come to the inside of the legs. Maybe you walk out a little bit, but get that length, sit bones reaching behind. Feel that lovely energy through the legs. Now, remember those legs. Let's lift a little bit of engagement of these quad muscles. There you go. And breathe. As you lift, you're not collapsing into the hips and you're supporting this stretch. Good. Maybe walk out a little bit more. Two more. One more. Kind of it. Nice. And then slow. Lengthen the spine to come back up. Should feel sweet. And bring these legs in. Just give them a little shake if you like. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. So as we come down onto our backs, however you like, I just want it to be slow, controlled, connected. So maybe the forearms come down, tuck the chin and just roll down. Maybe you do a little core practice. That's truly up to you. Draw the knees in and just a nice rock side to side. And then from here, soles of the feet come down onto the earth. I'm going to come in front of my mat. And the heels of the feet, let them be in line with your sit bones and the ankles somewhat underneath the knee. We're gonna take these palms, turn them down, but let the arms be a little bit closer to your body, and maybe just walk the shoulder blades in a little bit, just a little bit. And then slow, begin to lift the navel in and up. Find that kind of natural curve of the spine, natural lumbar spine, and then begin to lift, peel yourself off the mat. Knees go forward a little bit. Feel the space come into the front of the hips, and let that heart lift, kind of not forceful, but lifting it up towards the chin. And breathe. If you like, you might interlace the hands underneath you, walking the shoulder blades a little bit more together, or keep the palms down. Arms are a little energized, right? One more breath. Slow, lower yourself down, really nice. Pause there, knees together, feet a little bit wider into that constructive rest. Just let that lower back and sacrum area relax and open. And revisit that breath, right? Revisit your practice, right? What yoga is for you, maybe today, or maybe in that larger realm. What does it mean? Two more breaths, just like this. Yes, and then keep these feet wider. Separate the knees, and maybe the feet come a little bit wider. You can always figure that out. We're gonna, in a little second, we're gonna take the knees over to the right, so their legs are at about 90 and 90. Yeah, so maybe the feet come a little bit wider, and then just let this stretch come into the front of that left hip, or the side, and then into the front. Arms can open out to a T. And just breathe. Let the shoulders melt, let the heart open. You can even take that gaze over the left fingertips with the knees to the right. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then slow, the knees begin to come back up, the soles of the feet back onto the earth, and just rebalance that spine, and then take the knees over to the left, feet wide, arms to a T, and gaze might go over those right fingertips. And just kind of visit this pose, find what's right for you. So for me, the wider the feet, the more I get that lovely sensation into that top hip and that quad, and these arms opening to the T, the heart space gets to open. And if there's another shape that feels better, then take that. Gaze might go to the right. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then slow, we're gonna bring these knees back in. And just balance the spine and a few little windshield wipers back and forth. And then begin to extend these legs long, bringing them to the far corners of your mat. Let the arms move away from your body. Palms can face up. Take a nice inhale when it comes. Exhale out through the mouth. Sigh it out. And release into Shavasana. Let go. Let the body melt. Just feel the practice. Now it's that opportunity for that practice to just drop in, that muscle memory to drop in. Noticing maybe how you felt when some of those poses felt a little bit challenging for balance, for strength, for focus, right? But you did it. You found it for you. Notice when a conversation endlessly wanted to return. Maybe one time you were able to just take a breath and say, let that go. Let me be present. Remember how that feels. Taking a few more breaths here. And then begin to just move the fingertips and the toes. Draw yourself over to your right side. And lifting yourself up, finding your seat. Sukhasana. Nice long spine. Notice how you feel, please. Take a pause. Remembering as we are on this journey, hopefully with enthusiasm, this journey of life, as we deepen our practice, and just noticing what you put into your mind, into your heart, into your body, right? All those senses. And maybe shift a few of them. Maybe just for a day. Just experiment with that. Maybe less media, less food. Maybe a pause throughout your day of self-care. Bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra. Inhale. Exhale for Om. Notice your inner voice through this vibrational sound of Om. Kindness, gentleness, patience. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Again, I'm at Super Soul Farm in East Chatham with Raghunath Kapo. And I hope you enjoyed this beautiful room. And we'll see you soon. Monday, there's chair yoga, 12 to, let's see, what is it? 12 to 1 on Facebook. And Monday night, 5 to 6, there's a really nice, easeful, a little bit more restorative, gentle yoga on Zoom. So email me or messenger me if you want to get on that Zoom list, and you'll get the link each week. Namaste. Enjoy the day.